What's up, guys? Welcome to Munchkins Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Munchkins logging in to bring you Fantasy War Tactics R, and here is my review for it. Hello guys, I hope you guys are having a wonderful week so far. I thought I would do a review on this game that I've been playing for the past maybe 2 weeks. A friend of mine who actually got me into Brave Cross recommended me this game, and I thought I'd give it a try, and I played for maybe 2-3 weeks now, and I thought I'd give you my thoughts on the game. Just like what I did with Brave Cross initially, I did give out my impressions of it, and this is I believe it should be considered as a review, even though I haven't gotten to the full extent of the game. I have a general idea of what's happening in the game. So let's start this off with, of course, the story. Now, the story in Fantasy War Tactics is pretty much just like your generic anime story. So you start off as a lord with all these heroes that you recruit, obviously, and you are trying to take over the world, and while trying to do that, basically you found out that someone was a step ahead of you and pretty much has done that already. So pretty much you're trying to fight them off so you can in turn conquer the world. So I mean, there's a funny little clips here and there, and definitely made me giggle or laugh. But as far as story goes, it's pretty lighthearted. Now let's get into, of course, the very important one is the gameplay. As you guys can see in this video, it's pretty much a tactics game where you position your heroes in certain spots and obviously attack in very advantageous spots. It sort of plays like Fire Emblem Heroes, and if you play Fire Emblem Heroes, you would know how basically all the mechanics work. However, Fantasy War Tactics has some few different tiles that gives you bonuses for your heroes, and sometimes obviously debuffs as well. So certainly there are things that increase your hero's attack, your defense, and even sometimes recover your HP. As you guys can see, there's a scissor hand tile there, which sort of gives buffs to heroes that have scissors as their type. So it's a rock paper scissors type of game. However, there is also an attacker, area attacker, a supporter, a tank, and a balance heroes. So there's definitely a lot of choices in Fantasy War Tactics, and I wouldn't say the type of hero sort of gives you a certain advantage. I just never noticed that. But in saying that, I really didn't feel like I was actually playing this game. Most of the time, well, maybe 99% of the time, I actually just auto-battled. Now, it's an unfortunate thing or a fortunate thing if you're into that kind of thing where you just want to sort of, auto-battle and just let the game play itself. However, I know Brave Cross is sort of like that as well at times, but there's definitely times where you have to actually control when you're going to use your special attack or when you're going to activate, some stun abilities for your, in order for your enemies not to do that. But in here, the rewards that you get for every, I guess, world you finish. I want to say it's the world. It's because the world is in one continent. That's it. That's what I want to say. The reward you get for each continent you finish basically gives you an advantage for the next continent. I started this game about a week and I already had like three or four 5 stars that pretty much carried me all the way nearly up to the end, when all of a sudden the recommended BP or battle power for that certain stage just spiked up really high. So I am kind of stuck at the moment, and even if I manually try to battle that stage, I am just too low, either too low level or the battle powers is just too low. But you know, I feel like the game sort of plays itself up to a certain point, obviously. But even when you get to that point where you get stopped, even if you manually try to play it, you sort of stop. There's this barrier because the battle power is too high. It sort of kills your hero quite quickly. And I must say the leveling up is quite slow, especially when you 5-star your heroes. I know there's a point where it should get slower, but my god, it is very, very slow for you to level up. And this is me using all my potions and all that stuff, just replaying every single stage. Now there is a quick finish ticket like subjugate, as you guys can see there. If you have tickets, you can finish the dungeon without replaying it or auto retrying it. The auto retry is a nice thing because I feel like this game is very grindy. So it's like a game that you have to grind to get the levels, and the cap is, I believe, would be level 70 for your heroes. And so, you know, especially when you get the awakened form for your hero. So there's a 5-star hero, and above that there's the awakened form as well, and that slows down your leveling even more. So, and every time you upgrade to the next star, you go back to the level 1, so you have to start all over again, which is kind of annoying in a way. Not like Brave Cross, they keep their levels, but you get the next ascension basically. It is quite annoying in some ways, but definitely the gameplay is much more complex if probably you get to the later stages, because going into specific tiles will give you buffs, and specific tiles will debuff your opponents. It's definitely something to think about, especially if maybe your BP is quite close to each other. Now, I have played this game manually, if you guys are asking. Yes, I have, and it was up to the point where, of course, my battle power is almost identical to the recommended battle power. And yes, you can still get double S on that. And that is the highest rank for the stage, just by the way. So, it is quite possible to do it. However, like I said, most of the time, you will probably let the game play itself up to a certain point, which is probably the second last of the continent, where I finally struggled. But other than that, it will play itself. Now, the other bonus things in Fantasy War Tactics that I would like to mention is, of course, there are little side stories which you can navigate through the main hub. So this is like little interactions between characters that you get. So let's say you do get a hero, and they will have sort of small story events that you can read, and find out what sort of interaction between these two new heroes that you have, or an old hero and a new hero. They do give you rewards for just watching it and reading through it, so it's actually a really nice bonus. And if you're into that kind of thing, then that's great. There's lots more story stuff for you. And of course, the last one that we all want to know is basically is this pay to win? Now, I wouldn't say exactly it's pay to win, because I never really paid anything. I was a free to play player. I didn't manage to get a lot of 5 stars, but you'll notice people will have a lot of 5 stars as well. The market itself, you don't actually use your gems to get heroes. You use your gems to get new weapons and gear. So the RNG type of rolling here isn't for heroes, it's for gears, which you have 5 different layers of gear. So there's set 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and of course there's the runes as well, which I sort of haven't unlocked yet. So there's definitely a lot of depth, and these set items give you extra bonus, some defense, that some are only for attack type heroes, some for defense and support, and they give bonuses, and some of them only apply to different stages or dungeons. So, and you know, I believe it's sort of not pay to win up to the point where I am, but maybe later on. I wouldn't say, because it's just gears anyway, and you get a lot of rewards, like I said, for finishing continents. Now the extra stuff, of course, PvP and the Dominion type thing here, they're all there, and of course there's other extras as well. The one that you see now that I'm playing right now is basically, this is the one of the events. So this game has been developed by Nexon, so you will see some Nexon stuff. So you guys can notice the mushrooms are from Maple Story, the enemy is from Maple Story as well. So as far as I can tell, this is quite a solid game, but because I didn't really actually play, actually play, I just let it play itself. I wouldn't really say this is a very high ranking in my book. So it is a mobile game, but I would say I would give this about maybe 3 star if I'm being nice, but in my heart to heart it's about 2.5. Anyway guys, that's it for me. Remember to click like, subscribe, and share this video if you find it helpful at all. As always, I would like to hear from you guys what you think of Fantasy War Tactics, and are you guys going to try it? This is Munchkins logging off, and I'll see you guys in the next level.